So today we're reviewing the new ST MAX from Mizuno.
We are going to pair it with the RDX.
and see if it's the best driver Mizuno's ever made. Nice. So I'll be honest, 90% of the people that come in here do that. So dude, that was awesome.
Okay, first thoughts. Looks solid. I like that it's not overly hooded. Nice shallow profile. The way that they kind of round out the face, it doesn't look like it wants to go left, which is a big deal to me.
Yeah. When you get into kind of some of the multi-material stuff, like obviously we've got our Core-Tech chamber here in the front here, keeps ball speeds up when you miss it. They can look a little bit janky, right? And I think like when you're mixing plastics in with kind of carbon and you've got some other materials in there as well, sometimes the fit and finish isn't very clean. This one is very, very well done. So Mizuno's done a great job with the production in it, because I mean, coming up with a driver is pretty easy, but I think actually manufacturing it is probably the more difficult part, and it looks to me like they've done a great job. Feels really solid, and I think like looking at it, it looks, like Matt said,
A player could use it, right?
It does. It's not like a round driver, it's more triangular in its shape, so it does kind of come to a point at the back here. The face isn't like a super rounded face. I know some of you like that, some of you don't. It's more like a flat face, which does make it look like it presents a little bit more loft than it truly does. So for some of you that like that, it's probably a bonus.
Okay, I necked it, but I necked it fast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fast for a real miss, right?
Yeah, ball speeds are good there. I mean, and I think the conversation with this driver too is like forgiveness, right? I mean,
yeah.
And obviously when you go to a max driver, when you go to a larger driver, you're expecting, if you hit it off center, you maintain ball speed,
sure,
you maintain consistency, and hopefully you hit it straight.
Yeah, I mean, we're just hitting it here. We're not fitting it.
No,
but I mean, I almost missed the ball completely, and that still came off hot, which...
Miss.
Yeah, so for a first swing and me not even hitting the ball, that's a good start.
Absolutely.
So that was me holding it open, and still I haven't hit the club face.
That's pretty good.
And that was 165 ball, spins in the window. I'm moving at 115. Like, I'm moving. I haven't hit it on the club face yet. Old Mizunos weren't quite as stable.
That's true.
They're getting better and better.
Yeah, I agree.
I set it down. It doesn't look like it wants to rip left like a lot of Max drivers that are more draw biased.
Yeah, do you find that most of them want to kind of draw?
Most ultra forgiving drivers are very toe up, and when you're hobbit size like me, you can't afford toe up.
It's true. So for those of you at home too, like generally, sometimes in fittings, most of the time taller guys do kind of like more upright golf clubs, especially with drivers.
Yeah, the taller you are, the more toe down the driver will naturally sit.
Exactly.
So it looks good, very clean. I mean, a little busy at the back, but that's kind of what they're doing now with the carbon crown.
Carbon finish, but
feel at impact is very solid, and that's saying literally we're not cutting no bullshit here. I've hit 2 balls, both of them terrible. Both of them have gone.
Good results. I mean, if I was hitting you right now, I'd be like, hey, hit another one, please.
Yeah.
Those are both pretty darn good misses.
Okay. Let's try and actually hit one on the club face for you. I still haven't hit club face.
Yeah. Well,
just because I don't think this shaft is for me.
Yeah, okay.
But
that's a really good miss. I mean, if
I've hit 3 horrible shots, impact-wise, all over the place.
Yeah, was that one a little heely? Yeah. So, Yeah, so we're just not talking, that's fine. But I mean, like, again, 165, so that's cool to see too for you guys at home too. Like, okay, that was dead to the heel, 20 millimeters in the heel, which we're all bound to do that. And he still got 165
bad
ball
impact.
speed.
That is not good.
For sure. And then the opposite side of it too is like, some drivers are great out of the toe, not so good out of the heel. You can see that driver out of the toe is pretty darn good, and then out of the heel is pretty darn good as well.
Okay, so I've hit 3 now. What I'm getting out of it is, I'm pretty loose and fast today. Just woke up feeling good. So my head speed's moving a little faster. Comparing this to what I'm used to hitting, normally I would hit the center of the club face more because I have a different shaft. We're not doing a fitting. This is just a test of something stock. What I really like is I'm not hitting it perfect, but the ball's sailing and I'm getting away with everything.
That's the thing.
From a fitter standpoint, you're looking at it going, okay, maybe it needs to be fit more, but the head certainly lets me get away with a lot of bullshit.
And you don't normally launch it at 11.5. So
no,
to me, I mean, out of something that's not like perfectly out of the center of the face, that's a big bonus. Good swing.
So, I mean, again, what I'm feeling here now, we've hit a few. Impact's getting a little better.
Yeah.
The shaft is definitely not perfect for me, but
I would agree.
With an improper fit off the rack, There's a hell of a lot of horsepower in this thing.
There is, exactly.
So here's what I'm actually gonna smooth one out here. I'm gonna take some speed off of it.
Okay.
And I just kind of want to see what I get, because any driver can perform at 114, 115 miles an hour.
Okay.
But if we slow it down a little bit,
nice.
That's 105 maybe?
Yeah, probably about that. 101.
101.
Nice. So efficient though. I mean,
yeah.
These are Pro V1 golf balls, so they're
yeah. RCTs, so they're accurate. We're getting good spin numbers. Exactly. We know what's going on.
But that's pretty darn good, man. I mean,
yeah.
like, I look at that and I think, like, it's not, okay, so to me, just sitting back here, obviously he's hitting it, but I'm looking at some of the data and, like, it's not a super high spin driver by any means. Like,
most Max drivers are very spinny, so.
It's true. So that's where, like, I mean, and again, I think just looking from a fitting perspective, like, Matt's obviously reducing spin by hitting up on it a little bit, so that was sub 2000, but, like, it hasn't really spun up from anywhere on the face. So spin consistency, as Ping has coined, is one of the biggest keys I find when I'm fitting somebody, because that's the difference between losing 40 yards when you hit one and you hit one not so good. So I think that's where it's nice to see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's it for? This is really what everybody wants to know. Is it for me? If you're a high spin player, this definitely would be something to consider. Yeah. I think high or low handicaps can play this driver because the face isn't overly draw biased. You can manipulate it with the sleeve. One of the things that we see a lot of, especially in Canada, hockey players. All high-end hockey players that come in and play golf can create speed, and they hit down on it and they cut it.
Yeah.
I'm going to T1 low and hit down on it.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see what we get for all of our hockey boys out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Nice. Because I'll be honest, 90% of the people that come in here do that. So, dude, that was awesome. See, this is what I'm feeling. No spin. Not spinning.
Okay, this is the coolest thing. Now, I like to hit down on it just because I'm comfortable and I can generally hit it a little more solid.
Yeah, it's true.
Everybody's been taught to hit up at the driver for a lot of scientific reasons. It removes spin, launches better.
Yeah.
I just hit, what, one and a bit degrees, 1 degree down on it.
Yeah. Versus
and it didn't spin up.
No, it didn't. And it launched a degree lower, which was nice to see. And I mean, that was really, really solid.
So those of you with a downward attack angle, and if you don't know, often it's people who launch it low and then see the ball kind of curve up in the air as opposed to start up high.
If your miss is short right, think about it, right? Try it. Because I look at it as like, I mean, I see a lot of drivers, and generally the Max drivers that are more forgiving they are sometimes shorter for a lot of people, especially if you're someone who has that delivery. So
they're getting better and better, right?
And they're so much better.
Okay.
Well,
have a sip, I'm thirsty.
Thirsty coffee.
So if I was even somewhat competent, it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Because I was fast and wild, and it came off like a bat out of hell.
It did.
Which is awesome.
And the spin rates did not fluctuate. There was no difference between all of them.
So this goes to show that if you're a player who hits it all over the face, this is something to really think about.
Yeah. Someone who fluctuates a ton in spin and launch conditions. Matt was as wild as it gets, and numbers are pretty darn consistent.
I used the entire face.
Yeah. If you guys watched our video a couple years ago where we talked about how Mizuno's improving, it's only continuing on that upward trajectory. I think there was a couple years ago where Mizuno drivers were for specific people, great for that specific person, but this is a more all-encompassing driver. So if you guys are at home kind of looking, hey, what am I going to play for 2024? I would give this a shot.
Big time.
I mean, pairing it with the right shaft, and if you can hit it any bit as close to the center of the face as Matt did, you'll see that you're still going to get some great results out of it.
Yeah.
So definitely try it.
We're impressed.
Yeah, so we appreciate you guys watching. I mean, if you like the content, there's another video that I think you're going to enjoy. It's what makes Mizuno drivers so great. You should see the link here. Click on that, watch it, enjoy it. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.